This is the intro to the vlog. It looks and sounds messy because I'm on the train and I just need an intro for this. Because it starts without a video and because I've had my phone set down during the video because it was kind of like an urgent thing. This is regarding my landlord situation that I'm still kind of currently going through and it's escalating, so I wanted to release this vlog and get it kind of out so that there's like, I just want it out. I want to submit a video or upload a video. Anyway, please enjoy the struggle. And today is May 19th. It's about 3:34 p.m. My landlord just came into my house without notice. After last night, we agreed he would give me 24 hours notice. Last night, he unlawfully evicted me and forced himself into my house and harmed my dogs and intimidated me for over an hour and tried to coerce me into signing an illegal eviction contract that he wrote in my friend's notebook. I'm genuinely terrified. I'm currently shaking and I'm uncomfortable. He has a key to my house and I don't feel safe. He just came into my house unannounced. When I told him to get out, he got out. But he's still standing outside my door, still knocking on my door, still demanding that I let him in. He has no reason to come into the house. There's no work he needs to do in the house. He has already refused to fix the mold problem in the house. I've already told him that I cannot understand what he's saying, and he is refusing to leave or comply or do anything. He's just trying to force his way in. I don't feel safe. He's broken his word on promises he's made already. And I'm extremely intimidated and scared of this man. I'm uncomfortable, I'm scared, and he has a key to my house. So I don't know what to do. I'm going to block myself in my bedroom and I'll call the police if he tries to come in the house. He does not have a key to my bedroom, but there is no such thing as a key to my bedroom. You just have to pick the lock. So in the front of my house, there are knives and other sharp items that he could use to hurt me. So I will keep recording for my own safety. I don't know how to contact the police to call for help, and I cannot call any friends or anything while recording. I don't know what to do. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to get dressed because I'm not fully clothed right now. Yet he tried to come into my house anyway. He knows I am a single woman living alone in this house, and he knows that he was very intimidating and scary to me last night, and that I mentioned that I was scared and upset in both English and Korean, and he still decided to just enter my home anyway. He did not call me, did not text me, did not ask me if I would be home or if he can come over. He did not agree, or he did not follow his agreement that he agreed to in English and Korean last night. So he knows what I was saying when I asked him to give me 24 hours notice via text to come in my house. And he knows that he's breaking that. And he has given no solid reason as to why he needs to come into my house. Even after I told him he cannot come in my house. Because of this landlord, I feel unsafe in my own house and I don't know what to do. I'm just really hoping he doesn't hurt me. He was extremely aggressive and angry and and scary last night, so I don't know what he's going to do to me today if he gets in here. Oh my God. I'm trying to put my bed away so I can have space in my bedroom if something happens. Okay, Winter, get off the bed. Sorry, I might be talking to my dogs a little bit in this video as well. I'm sorry if there's any confusion about that. Oh my God. And I'm sorry for the shaky video. Oh my God, okay. Yuki, get off the bed, please. Thank you. Winter, get off the bed. Oh my God, sorry. I'm talking to my dogs right now, telling them to get off of my bed and my pallet for my bed so I can put it away. Last night, my landlord scared my dogs so badly that they defecated and urinated all over my room. They were shaking in fear. And so my dogs are rightfully very concerned about this right now. As am I. Ouch. Okay. I need to get socks on and shoes on so I can go back out there and make sure he didn't just unlawfully enter my home again. Because he has a key and he can come in whenever he wants. But I don't want him to come in whenever he wants, and he has to give me notice first, and he agreed to give me notice first, and he just violated that agreement. Oh my God. Okay, let me get these shoes. The flooring in the house is already ruined from mold and scuff marks that were there when I first moved in, so I'm wearing this clean pair of shoes in here for my own protection, also in case I need to run, because if this man tries to hurt me, I'll need to run, and I can't run outside with slippers on or barefoot. Stay here, dogs. Okay, I need to clean this up, but I don't know if he's still outside or not. I'm afraid. He's also stopping my ability to get food by threatening me in my door because I cannot cook in my house because all of my dishes are covered in mold and contaminated by mold, and I don't have the materials I need to safely wash them. And so I can't cook any food, and so I have to order food, but in order to get the food that I order, I have to go outside to get it. So I can't really eat right now unless I can find something. This is something he left here. I don't know what it is. I think it's... He was drinking alcohol in here last night, so I don't know. Without me being home. There's mold growing in my microwave, so I can't use the microwave. I can use the toaster oven, but I don't have a lot of food for the toaster oven. I can't tell if he's outside or not. I'm going to stop the recording and hope that he is actually gone. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording and hope that he's actually gone. If he's not gone, I'll start the recording again. Or if he comes back, I'll start it again. Okay, it is 9:58 a.m. on Tuesday, May 20th. Okay, I'm documenting the condition of my home right before I leave the house. This is my bedroom. Oh, this is what the floors look like. These are dogs. Okay. Now we're going to go back around and do the walls and a little bit of the ceiling. I'm documenting this because my landlord has repeatedly tried to enter my home without my permission, and the first time he did so, he trashed my house, and I had to clean up everything. I'm going to go back around this way, show you the ceiling, any spots that are on the ceiling, any issues, bubbling in the wallpaper. A lot of it. Alright, and then here's the middle where there's a light. Alright, now we're going to go out. My dogs are going to bark. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Here is the dog feces that my landlord swiped onto the floor on the 18th of May, 2025. Alright, there's some dog feces here, some dog urine here. This is all old stains. This is my other room. He has no reason to go in this room. Okay, that window is closed. And that netting has fallen. I want that documented. Alright? There's really no reason for him to come in here. There's no real mold to treat aside from the ones on the window that he did not even touch. Alright, this dog mat is flat down here. There are 2 pieces of dog feces right in like the center back of it. Alright? These are all paper towels that the landlord and towels that the landlord put on the floor. Here's all of this. There's all the mold in the hallway that he didn't get rid of. Here's my stuff. We have 2 charging cubes there. We have 1 cap that he left here on the 18th. I don't know what it's for, but I don't want to throw away evidence. We have a mosquito on the wall that I killed a while ago. And then we have, like 18th, I think. And then we have the kitchen area. We have his dehumidifier that he put here. And we have the dryer area, bathroom area. Okay. We have some spots on the floors, just dirt on the floor. I want to mark all this down. There's a little bit of wet on the floor because I showered and my shower mat is not available right now. I want to mark all the imperfections that I left the house with because I don't want them to get attributed to the landlord if I do need to file a lawsuit or file with the police. There's a lot of trash here. I have to take it out later. There's a lot of dirt and mold here. That was not there before the 18th, but it was there before this morning. There's mold all over the place. There's tape hanging off the wall. I don't know what that's from. I don't know what he did on the 18th, but it was there on the 18th only. That window is open, but the screen is closed. There's mold all over the walls still. All over the ceiling still. Then we have all of the dishes and the stuff that he moved. He moved the vacuum. I'm actually going to document myself putting this back. I'm going to do a little experiment because when I left the house on the 18th, it was on its hook. When I came back on the 18th, it was off its hook. And if he is using my vacuum, I'm going to be very upset. This is how the rug is. This is how the floor is. This is on the floor right here underneath. This is how the wall looks behind. Oh my god. This is how this all looks. Okay. The fridge, everything on here. This is how much paper towel is left. I have, let's see, 4 rolls of paper towels left. And, oh my god, I knocked something down. 2.5 rows of toilet paper left. I knock this down. I'm gonna put that back up. Put that back up here. Okay. This is how I'm leaving my house. There's my CCTV right there. That is also recording all of this. Okay. This is how important for me to document. Alright, thank you. Okay, this might be something I try to submit to the police, or it might just be kind of a vlog of sorts. I don't know yet. I'm going to document this either way, or any situation. I'm currently at a cafe takeout area waiting for a drink that I just ordered. Before I head off to university class. It is Tuesday, May 20th, 2025 at 10:11 a.m. My university class is today, and it's a master's degree program, and it's my visa, so my visa depends on my attendance and success in this program, in this class, and I live about 1.5 to 2-ish hours away from the university. University classes start at 9:30 a.m. Normally I have to leave my house by 8 a.m. to get there mostly on time. Last night / early this morning I was unable to sleep because yesterday my landlord attempted to enter my home without giving me advance notice or asking permission or having a valid reason to enter the home. Like there's a safety issue that he could resolve. There was safety issues that he caused, but he couldn't resolve them. He basically doused my wallpaper in heavy chemicals and then left to take a drunken nap. There's documentation for all this, but on the 18th of May, so the 19th of May, 18th of May in the evening, he decided, he and I came to an agreement on video, that he would tell me via text message, not a call, not an email, nothing, just text message. He would give me a text message when 24 hours before he would try to enter my home. The reason I chose 24 hours and not something else is because he was extremely aggressive, threatening, and made me very fearful on the 18th when he confronted us, me and my friend and I, about whatever situation he just pulled out of thin air about my house. The short of the very long backstory is that I have a pretty severe allergy to mold. This building, when I moved in, didn't seem to have any mold, but I noticed there were some spots where he'd painted over the wallpaper, which was weird, but maybe there was a stain, maybe whatever. I asked the landlord before moving in to fix the floors and the wallpaper, and he did a really crappy job of it. But, by that time that I saw the work that he had done, it was too late to even really do anything about it or ask him to fix it. So basically, I have to just live with like ugly walls. That's fine, whatever. It sucks, but it's whatever. I'm not paying that much per month for this place. It's like I'm not expecting a palace or anything. But then, that was in December 14th is my move-in day, 2024. Then, by, I would say maybe February, approximately February, I started to notice, 2025, so like 2.5 months, or maybe just 2 months, depending on when in February or something, I started to notice pretty severe mold growing on the floors and walls. I was cleaning it with mold cleaner, and it kept coming back even stronger, so I don't know what was going on. I assume that means that the infestation is so bad underneath the wallpaper that even mold killer on the wallpaper doesn't do anything. So I've got over like 100,000 Korean won worth of mold cleaners at least, and they haven't worked. The house is fuzzy inside. It's disgusting. It's making me sick. It's making my dog sick. You can see my eyebrows, what bad condition they're in. There's a dog hair on it. That's because of an allergy to mold, because it's everywhere and it's touching me all the time. My mattress was moldy, my clothes were moldy, everything. It still is, but I've had to maintain and wash and replace a lot of things, totaling over 1.2 million Korean won for the things that I've had to replace and throw away off the top of my head. I've had to throw away entire pieces of furniture because this house is fuzzy with mold inside. Everything that touches it also is. It's disgusting. And so I asked him. There was also an issue with the door. The door had a hole in it. That one, the glass was weak, and I had pushed it open with my foot, and it just crunched a hole in the glass. That was really frustrating. So I taped over it with like mosquito netting and then duct tape, and it's closed the hole, I guess, but the door itself wouldn't seal, the door frame wouldn't seal. It was letting a lot of moisture and bugs and nasty in, and yeah, it sucked. So that happened. And so I asked him, hey, can you fix this door? There's issues with it and all that. And also, can you fix the mold in the house? And I didn't send him pictures at the time, but I've been documenting it for a while. I don't remember why I didn't send him pictures, but he didn't answer that text for longer than is comfortable for a tenant to see. And so I had to call him and ask him to check his text messages, which was what I had to do every time I wanted to tell him something, because I can't speak Korean well enough to call this man. And he can't speak English at all. So there's really no way to communicate other than in written text where we can use like translators and stuff. I sent him a really nice, cool, chill, like positive, sweet message asking for these things to be fixed, saying that I'm happy to work with him. This is all documented. I'm happy to work with him to find a solution for the mold issue, because I know it can be expensive, because you have to gut this house and then redo the entire inside, because that's the level of mold we're at. The building should be condemned. It's bad. So I'm gonna catch my breath. I'm really sick today because of all this. So I asked him to fix this stuff. He didn't answer. I called him, took the messages. He answered. He said he'll get started on it. He'll check it out. A couple days later, a door was being delivered, or some guys came to my house to check the door. Okay, well, they were measuring for the door. I think they ordered a new door, and then they installed it that Friday. Cool. That's really helpful. We love to see that. That put me under the impression that he was going to also handle the mold, but because he didn't tell me about the scheduling of the door people, of course he's not going to tell me the scheduling of the mold people. So I thought there would be someone who came in to check the mold, and there would be an arrangement with him and me and the mold people to then set up like a week basically time when I and the dogs have to be out of the house. And I told him I have dogs. Multiple. And I told him this multiple times, and I told him that we cannot start the cleaning process or the tear down process of the house until I am out of the house with my dogs in a different place to live. In the beginning, I was even willing to pay for my alternative housing, even though by law the landlord is obligated to provide other housing, adequate, equivalent housing for the tenant. If the problem that makes the house uninhabitable is the landlord's fault, which allowing this level of mold growth in your house to happen within like less than 5 months is absolutely the landlord's fault. So he didn't do that. And in the spirit of trying to be cooperative, I'm like, well, I'll put my hard-earned money out and I'll continue to pay him rent. I don't care. I just need him to fix this mold so I can live here for the rest of my 1.5 years I have left on this lease. Because I like this house. I don't want to leave this house. I'm fine with this house. I just want the mold gone. So then he did not do any of that. So then like a week after that, I was like, hey, when are you going to figure out this mold issue? Let's get this started. Let's work together on this. And then he was like, LOL, no, basically. And I was like, oh my God. And so I went a little bit heavy on him because he's an adult. He knows. I sent him pictures. So this is the conditions I'm having to live in because of this. I need to fix this, or I'm going to have to take other measures to fix it. And that's not going to be good. Basically, I didn't say it like that, but like that's basically what it was. Then he basically was still like, no, you've lived here for 4 years. No, I haven't. You didn't have a problem until now. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? I don't know if he thinks I am the previous tenant, or I don't know. He's just insane. He just started going off the rails and saying stuff that is not even remotely true. And that was his first direct lie. At this point, he knows I'm a foreigner. He knows I can't speak Korean well because he's come to my house before, heard my dogs barking in my house, and seen the condition of my house pretty early on in, like, I think it was February, actually, when the mold started coming. And he had to help me fix a gas problem because my hot water turned off because nobody signed up the gas for my house, even though they said they would. Normally, the tenant would sign up for the gas stuff. That's on me, that's fine. I would have done that, and I tried to do that, but then the realtor told me that the landlord had already done it for me. Which is like, how does he? It doesn't matter, whatever. They do that sometimes with foreigners, whatever. But he did not sign me up for gas. So I was not paying gas, and so the gas company shut off my gas. So I didn't have any hot water, didn't have anything going on, and I had to go get help. That's also all documented. Not as well as I wanted to be, but like, because I didn't know it would be this big of an issue. But, so he saw me, he spoke to me, he talked to the realtor through me. No, he talked through me, the realtor to me, came to my house. We were talking to each other. He asked me, oh, where are you from? I said, oh, I'm from America. I can't speak Korean well. And so I need help with the gas thing. I can't call the gas company because I can't speak Korean well. So he sat on my floor in my entryway, able to see the mold right in front of his face, able to see the horrible door right in front of his face, and then called the gas company on my behalf, said my legal name, which is English, said all this stuff, so he knew who I was, he knew my name, he knew I was a foreigner, he knew I was living there with multiple dogs. Didn't say anything about it, didn't have any problem with it at that point in like February or something, January, February. Somewhere in that time period. It was cold and the heat had just turned off, so it was freaking me out. So, that all being said, now we come to this time and he has an issue. He immediately, or on May 18th, the evening of May 18th, he's come over to my house while I'm not at home. He knows I'm not home because I've arranged for him to come over. He said he'd come over from 1 to 2 p.m. Okay, great. I was under the impression that he was going to check the mold to then be able to hire a contractor to properly and professionally kill and replace the wallpaper, kill the mold and replace the wallpapers and floors and stuff. No, that's not what he was going to do. He didn't tell me any of this. I had already asked him multiple times now. to hold off on scheduling the mold cleaning until I can get my dogs and myself alternative housing for that period of time. And he even said yes to one of those things. Insane behavior. So then I was reassured by all that he was going to just check it, take pictures, whatever, and then hire a contractor and then get back to me about the schedule so we can organize it. No, this guy brings a bunch of sweetbreads, some snacks, some disposable cups, and some makgeolli, which is a Korean alcohol. Drinks a whole bottle of makgeolli, I think by himself maybe even. Eats 1.5 of those cream breads. And eats a bunch of snacks. And uses these harsh, heavy chemicals in my house where he knows the dogs are. He also steps on dog poop that was on the potty mat, on the dog mat. It was on the dog mat. He steps on it, swipes it on my door frame to my bedroom door, and then tracks it all around my house. Uses my shower to wash it off his foot and leave a pile of dog shit in my shower drain. Doesn't clean any of this up. He yells at me about it later when I call him out on how much of a mess he made in my house. And then he just leaves the house. He leaves the house with these chemicals soaking on the walls, with paper towels holding them on. The dehumidifier that I've never seen before just showed up, plugged it in, is running. He moved everything away from the walls. He moved all my stuff. Didn't even get all of the mold, so he did very little work. He got maybe some parts of one wall. Didn't move almost any furniture to get to it. And then just went home drunk. And expected me to come home and sleep there. He opened 2 of the windows, one of which doesn't have a screen. So he's just letting stuff in. So I come home to a house absolutely trashed. Everything's moved around. Dog shit is smeared all over the floors. There's an empty bottle of alcohol and a half-eaten whipped cream bread on the thing outside. An open bag of snacks outside, like little chips or something, corn chips or something. I don't know what they actually are. It's like a Korean snack thing. I don't know what they're actually made of. I've never eaten them, but I've seen they look like those corn pops, cereal or whatever it's called, but they're not. It's something similar but different. I think it might be rice or corn. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they are. That was just open on there. I have all this documented. I'm furious because the dogs are in my room with a bunch of panic poops and pees because they're scared of what's happening. They're uncomfortable. They're afraid. This man could have killed one of my dogs. He has a stress health condition that causes him to be really sick and die if he has stress. Luckily, he is well taken care of, and the vet takes very, very good care to give him preventative, things to have at home just in case something like this happens. I come home. Obviously, I'm in distress because this man just violated me. He violated my home. He did something that we did not agree to. He explicitly went against the agreement that we had made, completely ignoring the health and safety of my dogs, me, and my stuff. I drank alcohol with using heavy chemicals in my house without permission, without need to do so. A man that I don't know was in my house drinking alcohol, using harsh chemicals, and he left my dogs there. He was so mad when I called him out and was like, "You need to come back here and clean this up because now I need to sleep here. So you need to pay for a hotel for me and dog hotels for the dogs. This is absolutely unacceptable." And he started yelling at me via text. He was like, "I came over and worked so hard. How are you going to say?" I was like, "You didn't do anything. And you also was soaking the mold off of the wallpaper. The wallpaper cannot be salvaged. You need to redo the entire thing. The wallpaper is so covered in mold." I'm getting upset again. I know I look crazy, but that's because I had to like shower and run out of my house because I'm already an hour and a half late to class. That'll happen on May 18th this year, 2025. I called my friend, or actually I was on a call with my friend when I found all this. She saw the empty bottle of alcohol and she was like, no. So then she really quickly ate her food that she had just ordered, got ready to come down, and then she came down to my house. In the meantime, I walked over to City Hall to see if I could do anything. It was Sunday, so they closed early, so it was 4:30 already by the time I got there. I think it was exactly 4:31. I think I closed the door in my face. It was like, we're closed. Oh my God. I'm shaking, I'm crying, I'm like losing my mind. I'm calling my mom, I'm calling my friends. I'm like, I can't do this. It's just so stressful, so scary, because like, this is horrifying. And then I call him to get him to check some messages, and that's when he sends the messages that were like yelling at me for, oh, I worked so hard and your dog poop was everywhere. So, you know, it wasn't everywhere, because I remember leaving that morning going, oh, it's a little bit messy, but it's contained on the mat where it's supposed to be. It's not anywhere that it shouldn't be. So he should know not to step on that. He knows I have dogs. Look where you're walking. Why don't you just walk through somebody else's house without looking at all? I think he had shoes on. I think he even had shoes on in my house, which I'm not even allowed to do, or I'll have to pay damages to him. So he could have. Oh my God, yeah, there's people so close. Like, get out of the way. I'm not in the mood. So there's a bunch of this like nonsense going on. It's extremely frustrating. It's extremely scary. I'm alone. I have no support system. Well, I have a support system of like emotional support to an extent, but I have no substantial support system. I don't feel safe in my house anymore. This is not the first home invasion I've experienced in this country, and it will not be the last, because it will happen again the next day. So this whole like argument happens. My friend arrives, we go meet the landlord and everything. He's not drunk. He calls the realtor. We argue for a while. I have all this on video. Basically, he's telling me I'm evicted, that I have to pay 1 extra month of rent. He's telling me that I have 1 month left to stay. Oh no, he's telling me that I have less than a month left to stay here. He's telling me I have to get out on June 10th. Not even 30 days. And then that I also have to pay an extra month of rent as a penalty for breaking the lease early. I was like, why? Well, I didn't do that. You're the one evicting me. And then he basically was like, well, you signed with a different name. I thought you were Korean. I was like, no, you've met me before. You've seen me. We've spoken before. And on the contract, it says my English name. Sorry, my eyes are like gross. Okay. It says my English name. I signed with my English name. You can see that. Did you really not know who was renting one of your units after you spoke to them? Did you really think that it was a Korean person renting this unit, and that when you saw a random American lady who doesn't speak Korean at all living there, that you were just chill with that for several months? Probably not. And then after that, obviously didn't work out as an excuse to evict me. Then he said that I've gotten a lot of complaints from neighbors about God knows what. I assume the dog's given the context of the conversation, but like, I've never heard of any of those. Nobody's told me about those. The neighbors haven't told me, and the landlord hasn't told me, and the realtor hasn't told me, and nobody has told me. Nobody has told me about any complaints about anything. I understand if they're complaining if it's too loud for the dogs. That's fine. I have not gotten any complaints. I do not believe you when I told you. My bosses have made up fake complaints to try to get me fired. This is something that happens to a lot of, especially foreigners in Korea, because they think we don't know the process. They think that we just won't believe them when they tell us lies. I haven't heard of any complaints. This is even in text messages. He's made up excuses like, oh, there's a lot of complaints against you. I've never gotten any complaints. And so then And that excuse obviously doesn't pan out either. He claims that he didn't know I had 4 dogs. And he's mad that I have 4 dogs. Well, here's where it gets complicated. And Lee says I can have 0 dogs. But he said that I can have more than 2 dogs on the day that I agree to sign the lease. But there's no documentation of that. So that's part of what causes this to be complicated and messy. Because I technically did violate the lease agreement on paper, but he knew that I had more than 2 dogs the whole time. He knew that I was going to have more than 2 dogs the whole time, so did the realtor. Well, the realtor was agreeing with him and saying, no, I never said that. No, that didn't happen. And I was literally, you were standing right here in this kitchen when this happened. I was asking you these questions. I was recalling a perfect memory, and I can see in the realtor's eyes that he also recalled that memory. And it was just lying to stand up for me. It was insanely hot in the street. Sorry, it's absolutely way. But basically, that's what's been happening. There's more to that story, but I'm exhausted. I just relax.